on the road this week at Michigan as the Boilermakers compete for a regular season Big Ten championship. I'm Kyle Charters with Ben Turner and the head baseball coach Greg Goff for This Week in Purdue Baseball, presented by Birck Boilermaker Golf Complex. Well, Coach, what a weekend it was. Huge crowds at Alexander Field. We had some highs against Indiana. Unfortunately, we had some lows against the Hoosiers as well. But with 6 games left in the Big Ten, you still positioned yourself for an opportunity, especially considering the 2 teams we have left on the schedule, the Wolverines up in Ann Arbor this weekend and Illinois back at home for what should be a fantastic weekend in a couple of weeks.
No doubt, Kyle. I thought, man, what a great week for us in baseball. The attendance and the fans, it's just amazing, to be honest with you. The support and how they come out and how they cheer, it's just been fabulous. To get almost 10,000 people there in 4 games is pretty phenomenal. So really excited about that and really thankful for it. Can't wait for the last weekend in Illinois. Hopefully we can go up to Michigan and take care of business and have a chance to come back for the last weekend and play for a Big Ten championship.
Yeah, 4 games, nearly 10,000 in the stands at Alexander. I was talking to Josh Newman before the game on Sunday, and he said not only are there that many people there, but he's like, these guys up behind us in the dugout, these fans, they know baseball.
Yes.
They know what's going on.
Yes.
They're into it. They're cheering. They're booing. They know everything. He was pretty impressed. For a guy who's been around the league, it's a couple different spots. He's pretty impressed with what he saw with Purdue.
Yeah, it's funny because there was at one point somebody had said something, and I'm trying to not get on our guys, but just make sure they're saying the right things. And somebody says something that was pretty good, and I'm like, hey, who said that? And I was like, that's a guy up there, coach. So even our fans are getting a little testy out there, so which is awesome. Makes our environment and atmosphere a place that people don't want to come see. It's awesome.
Yeah, it felt like the weekend was why Alexander was built, and that was an amazing feeling to be part of that. To see it that full, after 14 years now, or whatever it's been of that ballpark. The win streak reached 11 in Big Ten play with that win Friday, longest since Michigan in 2018. Morales really shined on Friday night for you again. Connor Caskinet, 4th, 5th RBI game of the season. Only Boilermaker with an RBI in the game, and you still won. I mean, he came up with the perfect spots, and, man, he delivered. He
delivered big time, and again, just can't say enough about Connor and the stretch he's had for us being. The game just doesn't speed him up. He just, has a big 2-strike. Single up the middle to score those 2 runs there on the fastball end. And just a guy that's been tremendous for us and one of our great leaders, and couldn't happen to a better guy.
Indeed. Extra base hits were a little bit at a premium for the weekend. You did a good job of holding IU's really potent lineup down. At the same time, they did the same to you.
Yes.
It was very different from the last time IU was here in April of 22, which was actually the highest scoring weekend Alexander's ever seen. Now, the weather has a part of that, certainly. But the extra base hits you did have came in big spots. Caskinet had a big one Friday, driving a couple early runs and give you the lead pretty much their whole night. And then leadoff doubles Sunday both led to runs. You started the first 2 innings, and you played downhill pretty much the whole day, unfortunately, until the 9th inning.
We did, I thought, again, our hitters did a good job. But the story for the weekend was our starting pitching, and just can't say enough about how Coach Newman has gotten those guys and just gotten better each week. And this weekend the weather, the wind was blowing in, which I think eliminated a lot of extra base hits for both teams. And, when you do that, we talk about it all the time. How can you run an offense that can score in multiple ways during multiple days? And I think, although we didn't score as many as we were able to score and have a lead going into the 9th there on Sunday. And I just thought it was really a great, well-played weekend series, for both teams.
Yeah, you mentioned the starting pitching. Jordan Morales, Luke Wagner, Kyle Iwinski, who we'll talk to in the player spotlight a little bit longer. Let me read the numbers. They combined in the 3 games, 18 innings, 13 hits, only 4 runs, 11 strikeouts, a walk, .77 whip, 2 ERA, 2.03 batting average against. Needless to say, you would take that every weekend. That trio was just fantastic, gave you an opportunity to win baseball games.
They did. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing how they were just able to just control the game. I thought they were able to throw all 3 pitches for strikes. I thought they were able to throw the fastball on both sides of the plate. And they're just competitive. They had an edge about them this weekend. That, hey, we wasn't going down there. We were going to have a good start, and it was huge for us.
Ski on Sunday. I mean, what can you say? Man, I love stories about guys who are, veterans, and this is their moment. And, this season has not gone the way probably that he envisioned for himself personally,
Right.
though he likes to see the team win, I am sure. But, man, to step up like he did, 6 innings of shutout baseball against that offense and give you a chance to win the game. I mean, it was to be honest with you, it was just absolutely awesome.
It was, and again, Kyle has had his ups and downs this year, and we got more depth on the mound this year than we've had, and so, he had not thrown early very good, and so he, had to wait his turn, and then Blackman came in and started throwing really well, and then, JB went down with an injury, and Kyle just stepped right up. And that's what I told our team after the game on Sunday. You never know. You would never know who our starters are, who our backups are, who our starting pitching is. Like, this team is so phenomenal in the fact of they play their roles, and they're always ready. And Kyle was able to throw. I mean, to shut that team out for 5 or 6 innings is pretty incredible.
Yeah, Iwinski, 14 of 15, he retired during one stretch. Thanks in part to a couple great catches from Keenan Taylor. He gets to start in right field, another Indiana guy.
Yeah.
You had 2 of your Indiana natives really go out there and show up in a big way on Sunday. And KT also got on base 3 times every time he was up there. So love to see him back in the lineup and making something happen like that.
Oh, no doubt. It was funny. The first play in the first inning was the one I was nervous about because you put Keenan out there that hadn't played a lot of outfield in a big game like that, and they have runners, I think, at first and second, and the guy hits a pretty good shot out there, and I look up and he's taking a step in, and I'm like, oh goodness, please don't get over your head. And he makes a good catch, and he had it read just right. And then later on in the game, I mean, if he doesn't make those plays, to be honest with you, the game probably in our favor at the end, just because their offense is momentum oriented, and would have scored a couple of runs on those plays. So. Again, pitching and defense, Ben, as you know, we got to do that every day. And that's what I love about this team is that, man, I love watching them play defense.
And a quick shout out to Luke Wagner as well. Love this part of it. It was 18 up, 17 down, and faced the minimum through 6. So Iwinski certainly gets a lot of attention, and deservedly so, but Wagner pitched just as well, if not better, on Saturday in his first taste of the rivalry. And the rotation really was amazing against a good lineup. Kyle mentioned it earlier, but top 6 in the standings all play each other this week. The Big Ten schedule makers, I guess, deserve a raise. If you want to say that. You got Iowa at Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, Purdue, and Michigan. It's cool to be part of that 6.
It is, and that's why, you look at the stand, that's why we're all bunched up, because we hadn't played each other yet. Mm-hmm. And so kudos to the Big Ten because they got the last 2 weekends right. The top 6 teams are playing one another, and I think it's going to go down to the last Saturday of the weekend here in 2 weeks. So we just got to focus on what we can do and make sure that we're prepared. This week we got Michigan on the road. It's played really well at home, and they're really good. Their pitching's been really outstanding, and so. We just got to keep doing what we do. Just be humble, be hungry, and just go up there and play some Boilermaker baseball and see what happens.
This will be your first trip to Michigan as Purdue's head coach. First time that we've played a Tracy Smith coach team since 2015, which was also the last time in Michigan. Of course, those 2 things not related, but this Michigan team is pretty good, right? I mean, the Wolverines are going to give you a good competition for 3 games this weekend.
They're really good, Kyle, and they're starting pitching kind of like ours this past week. They're outstanding, and we'll have to go up there and play our very best. I mean, they're in the top of the league for a reason, and Tracy does a really good job, coaching those guys, and they'll be well prepared. And anytime you play people at this time of year that has something on the line, it'll be a dogfight for sure.
The one good thing I think coming out of this weekend is against Ohio State on Saturday, you suffered a heartbreaking loss. You reeled off 11 straight Big Ten victories after that. You suffered a heartbreaking loss to Indiana on Sunday. I guess we could hope that you reel off 11 straight
that'd be nice,
conference victories that would get us to the title game and into the NCAA tournament. But the point being, your team has rallied this season from heartbreak, and that's good to see. And hopefully we'll see that again this week.
That's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's hard to get back up after suffering, whether it's baseball or life. And I think that's just the resilience that we talk about in our program and what this group's all about. And I know they'll be ready to go. I know they were excited. to get back going this week. And as you guys know, we start out 0-0, and I think they've kind of built on that, and look forward to having 4 opportunities this week.
It'll be a big week. We'll be back here again next week, of course, to preview that Illinois series as well. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Kyle Iwinski. We'll do that next. This is This Week in Purdue Baseball. Tee up for excitement at Ackerman Allen Course, Birck Boilermaker Golf Complex. We're officially open for the season. Hear your tee time now at PurdueGolf.com. Let's bring in Kyle Iwinski, senior right-handed pitcher for the Boilermakers, who's coming off quite the performance on Sunday against Indiana. I would imagine that playing in front of that crowd at home, as a guy who's gone through some ups and downs this season, had to be a real highlight, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. It was unreal. I mean, first batter was the little nerves, but then once that guy got him out of there, then the nerves went away, so it felt pretty good.
I mean, it seems like he really settled in as the game went on. There were some nervous moments there early on, but once you got into a rhythm, it seemed like it was going to be hard to get you off the mound. Did you feel like as the game went on, you really got settled in? It was your deepest performance of the season, best performance of the season, very similar to what we saw at Alexander Field throughout last year. Did you feel like you sort of got in a rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, after the first inning, I knew the game was mine. I was on a roll, felt good. I knew the defense had my back, as in Keenan Taylor. He was unbelievable Sunday. So I know the defense got me. I'm not a strikeout guy, so I know if I get ground balls, soft, easy contact, I know the guys are going to play behind me.
Well, we have seen you be aggressive and attack hitters and go after guys, that there is no fear out there when you pitch. And especially at Alexander, I feel like you've pitched that way. But go back to what you said about KT, that has to really fire you up to see a guy laying out like that for you and making the plays for you. And it was a big reason why you retired 14 of 15 during one stretch.
Yeah, it just shows that they got my back through it all. So I really appreciate him for that and the team.
10 2/3 innings of a 2-run ball over your last 2 starts, both Sunday games in the Big Ten. The Sunday starter role was really where you excelled last year, and again, especially at Alexander. To get back into that groove, that has to feel good going here into the home stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait, man. The next 2 weeks are going to be pretty exciting. So I know the guys are ready. I'm ready. And it starts today with UIC to get back on a roll.
Was there anything different about the way you approached the last couple starts? Is it just feeling more healthy? Is there a combination of all things?
Yeah, my body's felt 10 times better because I had surgery, obviously, in the fall. So coming back, I'm feeling back to normal now. I feel like I'm just ready to go, ready to roll.
Yeah, you pitched through that injury last year, and as we said, were just amazing. The home numbers in particular, probably best statistically for a pitcher in Alexander since 2016, a 2.06 ERA, 2.14 batting average against. Just really impressive. And you did that despite having a little bit of discomfort in your elbow that you eventually then got cleaned up in the fall. I would imagine it's one of those things where you're trying to get back to feeling as comfortable as possible, and now it seems like here late in the season you're doing so.
Yeah, I got that surgery in September, so I sat and watched everyone bust their butts the whole fall, and I seen the grind with these guys, so I know what it takes, and they know what it takes to win now. Because last year we didn't have that winning mentality, but this year I can see it and feel it in the dugout that these guys want to win, and I want to be a part of that.
You said you felt comfortable in the second weekend, but Purdue's got a deep bullpen's got a deep rotation this year. You had a couple of rough outings maybe there early on in the season. Jonathan Blackwell pitches well, but you get this opportunity coming back. Just what's the season been like to sort of be in and out, and now it looks like ending it on a really high note?
Just after that Iowa series, it really was a bummer for me, and I know that our staff is unbelievable. We got new guys, Luke Wagner, Jordan Morales, they're unbelievable, and then our guys out the pen, JD, Suval, Dorn, and even Lambert. Lambert's just unbelievable because he's just high. He's high hopes, just keeps the guys up. So he's a big part for this team.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to hear more about that dynamic among the pitching staff of the guys that are the heartbeat of the bullpen or whatever down there. But more about Alexander, just, Kyle rattled off some of those numbers you put up last year and really was one of the most impressive seasons for a starting pitcher we've seen since the park opened. Is there something about it that really meshes with you, like the way that you attack hitters and knowing you have maybe sometimes a little bit room for error because of the dimensions of the park and just the comfort of the natural grass and stuff like that? I mean, is it just all together situation?
Well, we do play at a pretty big park, probably one of the biggest in the Big Ten. So I know if a fly ball is going out there, I know Coop, Mike, or KT obviously is going to go grab it. So, and then, sorry, say that one more time.
Just Alexander as a whole, the home fans, you just kind of feed off that. Is it just a combination of all aspects that pitching at home has been so much? Your splits are pretty drastic, and the home numbers are so good. Not to say you've been awful on the road, but it's been noticeably different. Yeah,
I just go up there because I know the fans are unbelievable. The packed house, got the team behind me, home field. Just not trying to let the fans down. So I just go up there and just let them have it, see if they can hit it, see how far they can hit it, and then if they do, congrats. So I give it to them.
You guys have suffered, unfortunately, a couple of heartbreaking losses this season, but for the most part, you've recovered from those and rattled off long winning streaks. In fact, it was a difficult weekend this last weekend. Just what's the character, I guess, of the team that you feel like this year has allowed you guys to maybe soak that in for a bit? I'm sure it was difficult Sunday night, soak that in a little bit, but then be able to move on and get back on it quickly.
Yeah, Sunday was a rough one, but it's crazy. It's the game of baseball. It's going to do crazy things to you. But our guys, obviously, we were upset, but the next day we're in there grinding, kept our head up, pushed forward for the next series, next game, and I know we're going to be ready for the next couple weeks.
You guys are focused on playing Michigan, I know, but across the rest of the Big Ten, all the teams at the top of the league are playing each other, and will this weekend and will next weekend. Do you think that's cool? It is cool that you're in the mix with those teams, one game back to Illinois in the Big Ten standings. But the matchups sort of work out that you guys are going to be able to play the best teams here down the stretch and give yourselves an opportunity to get a title.
Yeah. So we're not – obviously we see the matchups, but we're really not too focused on them. Yeah. We're just focused at one game at a time, just focused on UIC for today. And then after UIC, just all of our focus is going to be on Michigan and do what we got to do for this weekend.
Classes are done for the semester. This has to be the time of the year that you guys look forward to most, that it's all about baseball. It's all about the brotherhood.
Yep.
It's all about finishing out the season on a high note. What does it feel like when you finish that last final and you know May is here, let's get going?
Man, it's a big stress reliever because the shoulders are loose, not tense anymore. Just wake up, play baseball, and I can't ask for nothing more than that.
Love to hear that. We like to give you a chance to shout out some teammates. We've given KT some love and the other pitchers as well. Is there anybody else maybe flying below the radar? Anybody from your class? Anybody from the lineup that deserves some love on This Week in Purdue Baseball?
Yeah, I would like to give shout-outs to Cooper Kornblum because he's an unbelievable defender. Caskinet's been hitting unreal. Joe Stevens has been breaking. Breck Noack stepping up big for Friday. Sutter stepping up big for Friday. Yeah. And out of our bullpen, you can't ask more. I know Suvi had a little up moment there Sunday, but he's been unreal for us for this year and last year. So he's going to keep his head up. He's going to keep rolling. He's going to prove it this weekend against Michigan. Got Dorn. Dorn's been unbelievable. Backer and Griffin, Lohman, whenever they get the chance, they shove. So they all have been doing pretty good.
Love it that you went through almost half the roster.
Sorry.
The more shout-outs, the merrier. No, we don't have a time limit, so by all means. All right, we close out the player segment with what we call personal preferences. Just trying to learn more about you. So as I always say, there are no wrong answers, but we do have you pick a number between 1 and 7 this week.
Let's go with lucky number 3.
Lucky number 3. A band or musical artist you'd love to see play Purdue.
I'll go with Post Malone.
Okay.
Post Malone.
There you go.
Elliott Hall music, maybe. We're gonna put him.
Maybe put him in Alexander.
There we go. That's thinking outside the box a little bit. They have had concerts at Loeb across town in Lafayette, so you never know. That's a good one. That's why we ask these questions. All right, next one between 1 and 7. Don't pick 3.
5.
5. Your current or last pet of note. We're looking for the name, the type of animal, the breed, if applicable.
My big heifer, golden retriever, her name's Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah.
You called her a big heifer, as
Yeah.
in she's
She's a little chunk ball. She's chunky.
There you go.
Bailey the golden retriever. All right, last one between 1 and 7. Don't pick 3. Don't pick 7.
We'll go with
5.
5. Sorry.
We'll go with 1.
1. Favorite pro or college field you've played at? I think I might know the answer.
Nothing's going to top Wrigley Field. Nothing's going to top Wrigley.
Very
But
true.
if it was a college field, I think Swayze would probably be it.
Okay, at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You pitched pretty well there too when
Yeah.
Purdue went there
Yeah.
during spring break last year.
Yep.
So Michigan this weekend, you guys have got to be excited to be on the road. Big games. I mean, it'll be a big atmosphere again at Ray Fisher up in Ann Arbor this weekend. Do you feel like the team's just focused and ready to go?
Oh, I know we're focused. Nothing's really going to stop us from doing what we're doing and grinding throughout the rest
Yeah.
of the way. So I know that we're ready.
Appreciate it, man. That was a great performance Sunday. It was
Thank
an
you.
all-timer for me,
Thank
watching and being able to be there. All right, that'll do it for the show for this week. We'll be back again next week, preview that big Illinois series back at home. For Kye Iwinski and Greg Goff, along with Ben Turner, I'm Kyle Charters for This Week in Purdue Baseball, presented by Birck Boilermaker Golf Complex.